off.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello from Gary,
Geary,
Oklahoma.
G-Town,
Geary.
Geary. Yeah, we got corrected when we were having an IHS meeting, and a lady from she's from here, and we were all saying, yeah, it's gonna be in Gary, and she was like, that ain't how you say it. It's Geary.
Oh,
Yeah, we were like, oh, But yeah, coming live from the exploration expedition,
what?
something like that event.
Tradition expedition.
Yeah, there we go.
We're at day 3, which is going to be our last day here.
Mm-hmm.
They did some cooking,
Yes.
Was it some easy recipes or?
Yeah, it was. Succotash is pretty, you brown your meat and you just add in vegetables.
Okay.
I mean, but it's the exposure, the experience.
Absolutely.
So Amber and Melina did great. They like I feel like it probably boosted their confidence to see everybody enjoying their food.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, shout out to I keep wanting to say Command Warehouse.
What? Nutrition?
Nutrition. No. They actually go by a different name. Food distribution. So yeah, Bonnie, Elisa. I got to hold Elvira's son, Mael. So that was pretty cool. I knew Mael's great grandma. So it's pretty cool to like hold the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to meet Mael. But yeah, Lisa via Bonnie, they came and participated, got a cool little bag and a little
it's like an insulated bag.
Yeah.
You take your
for lunch
in.
And it's a backpack.
Pack a picnic in. That's what I told Joe. We could have something to. I was trying to pack us a picnic the other day in her frozen lunchbox, a little tiny lunchbox.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Man, I need more room.
Well, you got it today.
Yep.
So, usually we have Women's Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But we just figured we'd go ahead and just get on,
No, why y'all looking at me?
Because we're waiting on you to say something.
Hi.
Are you feeling better?
Yes.
Good deal,
I'm not dying anymore.
Well, we're all dying.
Yeah.
Every day.
Edgar Allan Poe,
Well, it slowed back down.
I'm not dying as fast.
Yeah.
As intensely.
I was on the fast track for like the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Finally got it back to normal.
Well, that's cool. I'm happy you're feeling better.
We have a mini guest sitting with us around the table today. You can't really see her. Would you like to say hi?
Hi, Josie.
No.
Oh, she's just chilling.
She's just chilling with us, listening. But so yeah, Women's Wednesday with it's not Women's Wednesday. That's okay. It doesn't have to be every Wednesday. I enjoy the different perspectives and the different topics, which brings me to, we were talking on, what was that, Monday, about how to reach like the teenage males. I was talking with my friend about it last night. He's a male and he's pretty young and he's 24. And so he was like we were brainstorming together. He was like, teenage boys are competitive. So like try to bring some sort of competition in, you know what I mean? Sports, bowling, but also like in doing that, giving them those talks too. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
we have to bring something to the table to meet them where they're at, meet them halfway, connect with them. So I don't know. I just liked his perspective on competition and things like that.
For sure. I think once we kind of like focus on a community, I think about it, and whenever I was a teenager,
Mhm.
I slept all day. I stayed up all night and I slept all day. So I mean, like each community is different, and I think each, but like that's why I like this group is because we'll keep on trying.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what works.
Mhm.
Whatever it's got to look like. Like you were saying, we're gonna try to meet people where they're at,
Yeah.
and just trying to get them engaged in, just coming out of their share a little. I think about how our youth workers were, and like they'll actually sit down and like have a conversation with us.
Yeah.
They're not all scared, and and even my nephew Aaron, like he'll like at first he would just shake his head, no matter what. Like he'd put his head down and he'd just shake his head, and it was
Mhm.
always no. Like now he looks up, smiles. If I ask him a question, he responds.
Mhm.
Like it's just it's just I feel like I'm that crazy uncle that always gets to tease about the things that they can't laugh about with their kid or with their parents.
Right.
So I always just think about how my uncle used to interact with me. And he would just he'd be real about certain things. Like even when I was going through you know trying to get sober. He was just honest with me about like what his process looked like.
Mhm.
And that was the last thing I ever expected him to say. Like he was just real honest,
Yeah.
and I think that goes a long ways.
For sure. Some honesty
Yes.
without like I
That
don't know. You can come at it like a million different ways, but like
for sure
some honesty with some
takes you a long way.
gentleness behind it, some understanding, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't just get results from one, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well,
My words aren't coming out.
from my understanding, like from me being, me thinking about what I went through, it was that instant gratification.
Hmm.
Like it was hard for me to believe in anything. You want that instant gratification. So as you get older, it's that sense of always wanting instant gratification, like it starts taking different forms. You know what I mean? As you get older, and like I was just one of those. I don't believe nothing I hear, and I only believe half of what I see.
Hmm.
So I mean, like you had to be pretty, and I wasn't punctual at all by no means. But if you wanted me to interact, then you had to be.
Yeah. For you to
So
believe anything
yeah,
I ever say.
yeah,
That's
definitely a double
funny.
standard going on. But that's just what got my attention, and I can think back of when these men, whether they were correcting me or just wanting me to know better. I know who was going about it the right way. And they were a little stern. Like, hey, we don't do that.
Hmm.
But then they instead of just correcting me, there was a lesson behind it.
Yeah.
But then I also had the opposite. I had an uncle that I just felt like he could not stand me. Like, but when it came to doing something physical around his house, he always came and got me.
Hmm.
Like he always, and I guess through that way, like he taught me a lot about, like our ways. He'd always make me carry rocks, and then he would always, like make me get everybody a drink of water, and like I never got, like I'd be looking at his son, he'd just be over there chilling. you know, Here I am doing all this extra, but I'm glad he did because I actually needed that. I actually needed that. So
Sorry, I had a bad phone call.
another uncle, yeah, another uncle bites the dust.
Dang.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. But yeah, so it's I think it's gonna really take some brainstorming.
Yeah.
It's really gonna why not just ask the kids,
Mhm.
like what do it's just trying to find that space where we can actually have them all together.
Right.
Like we know like the basketball boys, like they're always together. That's like that's a
easy.
group that's always willing to to get vulnerable.
Hmm.
They're used to being out in front of people. They're used, but it's like I want to reach the crowd that maybe, the loners, like they don't feel like they fit in, or like there's just different variables that go into like how do we target this one group,
Right.
and at the same time, like I just want I just want to put something out there that like I want to be that uncle that they can turn to, like I want to be that uncle because just like yesterday was the 9-year mark of losing my son. Yesterday, 9 years. It's been 9 years. So like when I think about these young men, like especially the troubled ones, like I think about my son all the time. And maybe sometimes I overthink it.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes like I just need to be me, like I get along with all my nephews. That's the cool thing about it. Like I have a ton of nephews, Junebug, Javier, like I got so many nephews, like, you know, Chaban, Carter. Like, I mean, like when they see me, we automatically start smiling
Hmm.
because they know I'm about to say something crazy, and I'll say it in their ear or whatever, or, like their parents will be right there and we'll be over here cracking up.
They already know what to anticipate.
Yeah, they already know what time it is. But and that was something that happened to me, like when I seen my uncle,
Hmm.
like man, my Uncle Robert, man, he was, like he was that father figure in my life. And then, I still got an uncle, my Uncle Eddie, I really look up to him, he's the only one left.
Yeah.
He's my last uncle, and I mean, I have other uncles, but like immediate, like real closely related, and like I don't know, like it's like that's the part that's missing. I feel like not only in my life, but like my whole community.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like we're missing that elder's wisdom, because we missed that on it.
Right.
So like I want it to be where like maybe my grandkids will get it.
Hmm.
Like maybe if we start doing something now, like maybe somehow, some way, like it'll trickle down, and having a positive effect on my kids.
Yeah.
Because when I think about like elders and whatnot in my community, living around El Reno, like it was rough. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, most of them died when they were, pretty young. So it's just part of it, I guess. Just part of trying to figure this thing out. So
For sure. Yeah, I'm always looking for ways to just connect with people.
yes,
know?
improve
Yeah,
our community.
for sure. Well, Theta and I were going to do a little, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a practice run. Yeah, a little
Prequel.
prequel for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is our speaker panel at 1950. I've talked about it quite a bit. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I don't know why she's so scared of me asking her questions.
No,
I mean, I don't know how we're gonna do it. Like, are we gonna let y'all get up there? I mean, I feel like you can like carry them through.
mm-hmm. And
know
that's
what I mean?
that's kind of already what I plan to do.
Yeah.
I have at least 30 minutes that for myself.
that you can take of.
Yeah, and then I speaking about like your life and your past and everything, it just like everyone told me, it gets better each time.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're not getting out of your comfort zone, are you growing? Are you changing?
Vulnerable.
You know? Um and so sometimes it might look like, oh my gosh, I just spoke for 10 minutes and that's all I can do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's okay.
that's okay.
Because you were courageous enough. I was courageous enough at one point to stand up and give everything that I had that day.
Mhm.
And so that's how I feel about it. But I think that if we're doing this work, we have to be uncomfortable sometimes,
For sure.
or we're not growing. We're not moving forward. We're just staying still.
Yeah.
And I never want to be staying still for too long.
Yeah.
You know?
It just becomes one of those things. Like I can remember my first time I went to a detox to tell my, sit on a panel in California.
Mhm.
I was just like, yeah, there's one time, it's like all
Band
these
camp.
war stories, yeah.
You and your band camp.
But it was like these horrible, and there was no solution at all.
Mhm.
I almost got shot, got stabbed, like whenever I left there, I just thought like, what the hell am I doing? Like that made no sense to me. But it also kind of, like I seen how, in my head I started thinking,
Mhm.
like why like we all have them horror stories.
Right.
We all have them using, like them hitting our rock bottom, and so it just started meaning more to me to start talking about what my solution was for that. Okay, yeah, almost, like a couple people tried to take my life, like,
Mhm.
and I just started keeping it real simple. Well, I just stopped hanging around those guys, like it was simple math, and here I am turning it into, trigonometry or calculus or, like, but it was simple math,
Mhm.
and so I love, sometimes you can go on YouTube and just hear a speaker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One thing that's really been sticking out to me lately is in Wellbriety, we have the 4 laws of change.
Mhm.
And just going down that run, like change from within, no vision, no development. Um Nah, I just went blank with my mind.
Mhm.
But the fourth one is creating that healthy forest. And a great learning must occur on the third one. And then the health, the healthy forest, creating your healthy forest. So like when I started thinking about it, like I guess I started thinking about it in different formats.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like, but I'm to the point now where it doesn't bother me
Yeah.
to get up in front of anybody and be like, yeah, I used to bang smack, but you know,
Oh my god.
I'm happy today. I'm a grandpa today. Like those are the things. Like I can always find the positive
Mhm.
in just about everything. So I'm definitely ain't nowhere where I would like to be. Like you hear these just great speakers, and it's like, wow, like I can take something that they said and I can apply it to my life.
Mhm.
But like you were saying, just having the courage to
Do it.
do it,
Go
say
for it.
anything, so I would love to just kick back and eat, like
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a great night, and
yeah.
like you said about like we all have the stories, we could go round for round, um, and I feel like when speaking, like you have to know just enough of my suffering to know to see the change. You
Yeah.
know, just enough, not too much. Because, like I said, we could go on and on
Yeah.
about the misery.
She definitely belongs here. She definitely is one of us. You know, so
But dang, I was going somewhere with that. Oh, Dr. Henrietta Mann. You know that I was so mesmerized by the way that she spoke. I wasn't hearing the words that were coming from her mouth.
Yeah.
Like the presentation of her was mesmerizing, and
Yeah.
I learned a lot about how I wanted to do things differently and how I wanted to change the way that I speak and present myself through her, you know?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Pretty amazing.
Cool.
Who was that?
Dr. Henrietta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mann.
she's great. She's great, especially huge in the well-bridie world.
Mhm.
Huge in the well-bridie world. Like, I don't know, like everybody at these conferences, you know, like everybody wants to picture with her. Everybody across America knows, around the world,
Mhm.
knows who she is. Like, you know, and I agree, you know, I don't know, she just has that good medicine about it, you
Yeah.
know. So that's
For
pretty
sure. I got to give a shout out to my sister Cassandra. She did something really big this morning. Her and Natalie both. They did an interview, like a formally filmed interview.
cool. Oh, that's cool.
Lights, camera, action.
Wow.
For Southern Plains.
Cool.
And
I think David did too. And
Dave.
and Makai.
Yeah, shout out to Dave.
You know, I
don't
think
know
they did
Makai,
too.
but I think that's really cool. She's done so many different speaking engagements. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I was like, "You got this!" Like, what? You got this? And she's like, "But it's the lights," and you know. But definitely said some prayers with her and sent her on her way with her hair curled this morning. And I hope it went well.
Yeah,
You're
for
watching.
sure.
I hope it
For
went
sure.
well.
You know, like you do it. I don't know, like it doesn't. I don't think twice about it.
Yeah.
Like we'll show up to a conference and I'll be like, "What are we talking about?"
As you're pulling in the parking
about to go on stage. What are we talking about?
Oh
You
my
know, like
God.
you're texting. Oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Let's go.
Mhm.
You know, and you know, it just becomes second nature to me. But you know, like I also think like I wish I still got like the butterflies.
Ugh.
You know, like I still wish that, you know, I would, you know, like, but you know, I think it just I couldn't hold on to those feelings because then I overthink everything.
Mhm.
You know, so I'm happy for them. You know, I'm happy
Yeah.
they got the experience.
It's
You know,
awesome.
so that's cool. You know, I always say, you know, my brother Dave, you know, he was rugged. Yeah, and now he's not.
Yeah. His hair was brushed this morning when he came in.
Oh,
That's a big deal.
wow! That's how you know something special is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, I'm proud of them. Proud of all of them.
Do we have some comments?
Yeah, there's a few. Belinda says good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
And
Belinda.
she only said hi to Theta, so
Oh, hey, well, she can't tell you hi back. So.
Jay Rose says, "Hey, Cuzzo."
Hey.
David Deere says, "Good afternoon."
Stongo David.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Kenny Ray Williams.
Oh, Mr. Williams.
Good afternoon. Aho for the work you all do.
Thank
Eat the
you.
tea.
Jay Rose says, "Who is this?" That part. I'm sure it's comments on what we're talking about at the
Yeah,
time.
for sure.
And telling your story is doing your service to other addicts.
For sure.
Mhm.
Leslie Shorty says, "Good afternoon. How are you, Brother Barry?"
Hey, good afternoon,
Good
sis.
afternoon.
And Jay says we should have a TikTok and have a panel sometimes.
I know, right? That would
Yep.
be cool.
I'm down.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
I think I don't know why. Like I don't know what scares Theta and Dez about being on the live with me. I think they are gonna, you know, they think I'm gonna ask them something crazy.
Mhm.
Did your feet stink this morning when you know?
I'm just used to it at this point.
Yeah.
I already know what to expect. we could be real serious, and then you just go completely off the rails into a big, huge joke, and I'm like,
I love it.
"Ugh."
Yeah. The only one laughing?
Definitely keeps the energy light. You know, like when I first started working here, and I had to ask how you're so happy first thing in the morning every day.
For sure.
Like you're laughing at 8 o'clock. Like I gotta let the
Yeah.
caffeine enter my body. I gotta.
Yeah. It's a process. Huh?
Yeah, it is. Like, and I don't know. I just think that you have every like reason to, like, just over the course of your life, you've had a lot. You know,
For sure.
a lot of hard things, and you just remain crazy as ever. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Nothing better than being crazy sober, you know?
No, really. I know people think that like when you get sober, you're just so boring and like somber, and you don't know what to do with your time.
Just sit
But
there.
All peaceful.
yeah, like we're just in meditation all day or something.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Just catching butterflies.
Yeah. But the truth is, like, I don't. If you are a true alcoholic or an addict, you don't really figure out who you are, who you really truly are inside until you get sober.
For
Yeah,
sure.
we
And you
talked
get
about
to
that
know
yesterday.
yourself.
Recovery becomes discovery.
I like that.
You know, so it's just and I guess you could call it like an evolution. You know,
Mhm.
like the transformation, like
Transformation.
that change that comes from within.
Mhm.
You know, like it starts to come out. You know, like you know, once I realized like it's okay to be nice. You know, it's okay to like it's okay to be happy. You know, like
Mhm. To care about other people's
care about other
feelings.
people. You know, be gentle. You know,
Yeah.
like it took me a long time to get there. You know, like I always said, the first 40 years of childhood are pretty rough. So you know, it's worked out great, and it's hard for me to be ungrateful.
Mhm.
You know, I think that's one of the things that I can really say brings recovery home for me is that I've learned how to be grateful.
Yeah.
So you know, it's hard to get me down and out. You know, it's hard to get me out of character. You know, there's been a couple of instances, you know, where like I feel like I could have done better,
Mhm.
but you know, like then sometimes you try to make sense out of things that don't make no sense at all. You know, and I just got to leave it alone, you know, and just realize, well, today's a new day.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like always going back. If you're constantly thinking about what
Yeah,
happened in the past or whatever it is you just went through, it's constantly going to bog you down.
for
It's
sure.
going to constantly worry you, or
You can't be
like,
present.
what did these people say, or what did these people think, or
Yeah,
and if you start to let that not affect you, then your day is just going to be better. I know for me in coming to work, um, it's just I've already been up for probably 2.5, 3 hours before we come to work. And I know that's a lot for some people because everybody likes to sleep. But like I have to get up in the morning and I have to have my morning meditation
yeah,
and my time to set aside for devotion and things like that, and to read and to be grateful that hey, we were blessed with another day.
yeah, for sure,
There's how many people out there in the world that weren't given that opportunity.
man.
And so that's just part of the process. And
Definitely.
there's days where you can come in and you can be happy, but you always can come in and be grateful. And so I
Yeah,
think
for sure.
that's just part of how we've kind of grown over time.
Yeah.
I think
So
that's one of those healthy habits that I had to start
yeah,
because I was like, oh, I'm tired, you know, like, oh, there's just so, like I'd be going to group and just thinking like, oh my God, he's gonna talk about the same thing he did last week. You know, like I was just trying to find all these excuses for my behavior.
Yeah.
And, like once I just kind of sucked it up and just kind of like had this mentality, like, you know what? Like you're really slacking on, becoming, who you need to be when you go home. You know, like I don't have no defenses when I put myself in these situations where I feel like I have to use.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't. My thing was it was hard for me to tell anybody no. You know, like because when you're, I used to have a lot of empathy for people.
Yeah.
So like I'm always like trying to like I want to carry the load with them. Like to me that's what a good friend, a good family member, like I'm always in your corner type person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like I just really like buckled down and got honest about who I really am. Why do I let the like my biggest thing was I used to let everybody eat. I would break myself down so everybody could eat. Because if it made you feel better to dumb me down, then I would be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
If it made you feel better, to and I've learned how to keep myself whole today.
Yeah.
Like it. Why should it matter what somebody else thinks about me?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have no bad intentions. And I'm gonna treat you better. I hope I'm treating you better than what you treat me.
Yeah.
That was a hard thing for me to do. I was one of those tit for tat. Like just I don't know. I found myself by myself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm comfortable by myself today. Whereas before, it was hard for me to be alone.
Yeah.
Like it was hard for me to sit in my own thoughts.
Yeah, you'll find yourself having a smaller and smaller circle
Yeah, for sure.
as you're starting to focus on bettering yourself. Mostly because you can see who's really supporting you and who's
Yeah.
not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's key how, because there's still days where I'll go home and I'm just like, man, like I don't like being by myself sometimes, especially if like my daughters are gone and my son's at work or whatever. So I'll find things to try to keep my mind working, and
Yeah.
not just like trying to occupy time, but trying to, I don't know what you would call it, like mentally stimulate yourself.
Yeah, trying to be
Mm-hmm.
productive.
Yeah, and be productive. And so I find myself doing that a lot. And so it's just helpful. But like we were just talking about, like the circle, it's going to become smaller because you're going to really once you find out who you are, you're going to find out who you really want to be around. And it's
Yes.
going to take time for you to find those people. And that's why I think that our circle is so important, and the community that we're building is so important, because we started to find and we help people find those other people that have that same like mind,
Mhm.
and are making that is they're making that same journey that you're making every single day. And to have those people that you can rely on or to voice something to, it's important because it helps you get through your time.
For sure.
So
Yeah. Like, and when you're in the early stages of like getting sober, we talk about small circle, but your circle might go down to zero
yeah.
Yeah.
until you place yourself in those
Yeah.
other places, like like meetings and things like that, where you can find your community again, your people. I don't know, maybe you find one good coworker that you can trust, or
Yeah.
one good cousin, or one good,
Yeah.
aunt.
Somebody. Yeah.
But it might be reduced to zero, and you might have to. I mean, I had to be okay with that for a little while.
Oh yeah.
I always have Josie. I always have my little best friend, but just not having that adult interaction or human adult connection, something that
Yeah. I seen
whole
myself putting
process.
myself out there
Mm.
way too much.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be at these birthday parties. I wanted to be like I can finally be present.
Like you were
Yeah.
overcompensating though for
yeah,
your
for sure.
yeah.
Like I want to go around people and show them that I've changed. Like and it was doing way too much.
Exhausting.
Like then there I am not keeping myself whole again.
Yeah.
Like there I am falling back into that same old pattern of like I gotta please everyone.
Yeah.
So it's, to me it was about having the awareness, like just that, having that awareness, like wow, I'm really putting myself out there for what?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm comfortable in my own skin for once, and I can like and then I get myself an apartment, and it was just kind of like nobody even knew where I lived, like for like a good 6, 7 months, and then, had one of my cousins, I call him my brother, he was homeless,
Mm-hmm.
getting kicked out place after place, like didn't have nowhere else to go. And so I'm thinking, well, I need to do something because this is my brother. Like we grew up together. My grandma, as a matter of fact, he's about 4 years older than me. And even when I was a kid, my grandma used to tell me, when you get older, you're gonna have to take care of him. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I think he's about 49 years old, 48, 49. And whenever I see him, he's still like, man, you didn't give me nothing for my birthday. He's one of those guys,
Oh,
But like what? Almost 50 years old. You still, like, and it wasn't long that somebody knocked on my door. I think I got home from work early one day, and somebody knocked on my door,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, who are you telling to come over here? Like nobody comes over here. Like nobody even knows where I live. My own family doesn't even know where I live.
Yeah.
Like who are you telling to come over here? He's like, sure, I don't know who it is. And I opened the door, and this guy's trying to hand me money. Where's your cousin at?
I'll be right back.
And I'm like, I'm just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he's sitting on the couch, and I turn around and I'm like, this guy wants you. And he's like, I don't know what he wants. You know what I mean? Pretty obvious he was selling drugs out of my house.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why is it the people that I love the most can't respect what I have going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And that, like that was a real eye-opening experience where I understood, like, like sometimes what I got going on doesn't matter to anybody else.
Right.
Even when it's right there in their face, and he didn't have to do nothing, clean up after himself, ain't got to pay no bills, ain't, like, but him trying to be active in the streets was way more important than having a safe place to stay, like, so, like I get it. I understand, I used to be that same way too, but like I had to be shown that to show myself, like, man, like sometimes, what is important to us, the next person, the people closest to me could care less.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, that's just what, that's just what I needed to see to understand, like, I need to protect my peace at all costs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's hard to break that cycle though. Like whenever that's what you used to do all the time. Like I remember, I felt those same responsibilities to try to be like everywhere, like people wanted me to be
Yeah.
or were asking me to be. And then when I made that decision to, put my family first or make sure that things were going right for me instead of worrying about making sure everything was going right for everybody else, like it made people like I quit getting those invites, or I quit,
Yeah.
or
I don't get them
like
no
people,
more.
like people were like, well, he's never going to come, so I'm going to quit asking. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it was never a case of me not wanting to be there. It was just me. I was choosing to take care of me instead of
Yeah.
and my family instead of being there. And like, cause there were so many times where I'd be like, I have like $5 in my account, but I'm gonna travel 2.5 hours to go to a family party or something, just because that's what I felt like I was supposed to be doing.
I'm leaving next.
I just wanted to tell them to start putting stuff up because in eventuality we're going to be trying to get out of here, and I
Yeah,
didn't want to
for
wait
sure.
till 4 before we started doing it.
Foe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's those hairy situations, that like I said, it's the awareness.
Yeah.
It's always about the awareness. Uh, is Uncle okay?
Auntie. Auntie, okay.
The auntie is hurt.
Shoot. Auntie was wounded.
Everyone's like, where'd Theta go?
Yeah.
So earlier when we were sitting here, I noticed I had a phone call from my car dealership, and they're gonna tell
Mm.
me that since they were late on doing the paperwork for the bank loan, that they paid my first car payment. Okay. And I'm thinking like, oh, okay, well, since y'all are late doing your job, y'all, I thought it was like, oh, like here's what we're gonna do for you since we're late,
Yeah.
right? No,
No, not at
you're
all.
gonna tell me I owe him that money that they paid for my first car payment. But mind you, when I got the letter, which was the day after my car payment was due, that I had a car payment on July 8th, I paid it right after that.
So he's trying to get this.
And so I told him, I said, wait, I said, I made my car payment for July already,
Yeah.
you know? And now you're sitting and you're telling me y'all made a car payment for July also, but I owe you money back now?
Mm-mm.
I got mad. I got up and walked off and I was, you know, I was pissed. How the y'all gonna be late on y'all's end of your job and you're gonna make me pay you back, you know, because y'all messed up. 'Cause y'all like, I was like, no. I said, I'm not understanding this right now. I was like, look, I can't even talk about this right now. I'm at work.
I'm on a podcast right now and you're
Like,
blowing my vibe.
you know, and like I had to walk away. Listen, I was pissed.
We would have totally wanted to hear that conversation.
You could have just held the phone
Yeah.
like, here, hold on.
I
Let me
definitely got
Put
quiet
it on
for that.
speaker.
yeah, let me
Yeah.
put you on speaker so we can all
Matter of
talk
fact,
about.
we could Bluetooth
You
it
know
on
what
you.
I mean? Like we can all talk about this conversation.
Where you at, motherfucker?
Like,
Mhm.
so I'm like, look, man. I said I'm at work right now. I was like, I'm gonna come up there and talk to somebody because I need to see what exactly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
show me on paper.
Yeah.
exactly what I told him. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna be late to work, FYI, because
Bring
accounting,
burritos.
because accounting
Yeah.
because accounting closes at 5. So I'll be late today. So in the morning, I'm gonna go up to the car dealership and talk to them
For
and
sure.
see, you know, because like I'm irritated. I called my mom. She's like, if we have to, we'll get a lawyer. It sounds like somebody's trying to scam you, you know. And
You can't scam a scammer,
It's
okay?
like-
Tell them that. Like,
You don't even know
don't
what I've
even
done.
try me. Like,
you know, so I'm so
Who am I
freaking-
talking to?
my face is hot though, like I'm irritated, you know, on top of freaking coughing on
What?
him past 2 weeks.
Aren't you glad that you have that clarity though to be like, you know, like I'll be there. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you know, instead of going in there all hot and bothered and you know
marching
trying to
in
move
there.
some furniture.
No, he could tell in my voice, like my tone changed. It went from, oh, like y'all pay my first to what? Wait, how the no,
Huh?
to cussing at the end of that conversation, you know? Like
Yeah.
I'm just like, woo. I said, listen, man, I'll be in there.
Mhm. We'll be seeing you.
You gonna see
Yeah.
me.
You gonna see me.
You gonna see me.
And what was your name again, sir?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is my name.
It's crazy how you deal with those things even in sobriety, and you don't like we're already at a point where we don't run to drugs or alcohol to
Yeah.
deal with these,
Yeah.
but you still have to feel the emotions, the anger, the
Yeah.
stress and
Things
all
you
of
used
this.
to use over. it.
Yeah, and
Exactly,
so
exactly, just not just ignoring the whole situation because
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
ignore it.
avoiding
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This mofo trying to hit me over the head for
Yeah, you hear me?
I was trying to file my taxes for like 3 years, and I just would get so stressed out. I'd just be drunk, and then I'd be drunk for the week. And I hope the IRS doesn't come for me.
Like, oh, that's where our money is.
She's gonna be in the next Canadian county.
I know.
judge.
No, but I used that. I used the fact that I had to sit down and file paperwork like an adult as an excuse to get drunk. You know?
Yeah. Like,
Just
I did my
normal-
grown up business today.
No, I didn't do it. Like, I still didn't
Oh,
do
you
it.
didn't do it.
Like, I couldn't. I would not force myself to do it. I would attempt,
Mm.
but I'm glad that you got to get up and
For sure.
cuss around, feel your feelings, and now you can.
The whole building.
There you go.
Everybody think you like getting out of your way.
You can handle it accordingly now.
Talking
you
to my
know?
mom, and my mom too. Like I love her. She's right there with me, just going at it too.
I feel like we need to have like an insert disclaimer here. Like, Tor does not support anger or the evasion of taxes.
Yeah.
Just for note.
Thank you for the disclaimer.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Come talk to us about it.
Do we have any more
Come get on a
comments?
podcast and talk about it.
Well, that would be great because of the, did y'all read
The
the
meditation.
yeah? So it goes great with what we got going on right now. So, do we have any comments?
Oh,
before we read?
Cassandra gets on and says hello.
Hello.
Oh, sister.
Jay comes back and says God brings laughter.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Cassandra is like, where'd Theta go?
I like that.
Right here. I'm back.
And then
She's back.
Leslie came on and said, but I miss my dad. His name was Philip Crow.
Yeah, my Uncle Crow.
Jay
Crow.
says it's okay to be kind and gentle and not be in control.
I like that.
Cassandra says it's definitely a heart matter. One of the first things I left in my surrender to God was compassion. From there, God has and continues to clean my heart up. Not left. She felt in her surrender to God. Sorry. Can't hold on to the past and to what ifs. Guilt will bury you, says Jay. Cassandra says
sure.
living in the past and worrying about the future is a thief of joy and the present.
Don't dwell.
And Jay Bo says, Cello, nephew Barry Bo.
Chalo.
And see, Kimberly Sexton says, Ostio.
Sio.
So,
Brother Tommy came on. He says, when I decided to finally stop what I was doing, I was looking for someone or something to help. Then I realized that the best teacher to wake you up is Mother Earth. The best teacher is the water, the trees, and the wind. And for me to walk outside and say, this is real. So that what made me come back to the circle and all our traditional ways and sweats and going outside and appreciate what the Creator has given to us.
Good deal.
And it got me along the way. It made me who I am today.
Hey.
I guess there's more to it, but I can't read it all.
Well, we
That's so
appreciate
deep.
that. We definitely appreciate you sharing that with us. Nature was our people's first teacher. So I think it's we are the air, we are the water, we are we are the dirt, we are Mother Earth. Like we're made of all those things. So I like that comment. So appreciate you, brother Tommy.
Yeah. Jay says sobriety circles will help.
yes.
Yes, for sure.
Carlos Torres says, where's the kidneys at?
Oh.
Where's the salt and kidneys?
What is it?
Mhm.
What do y'all call Ron? Ron Colley's on here. It says,
I'm like,
Uncle Ron,
Hottie number one.
hottie number one.
Hottie number one.
Yeah.
My
It
Segi.
said, games recognize game. Can't play ante.
that's right.
You pop your collar.
Yeah.
Said that?
Ron.
Ron. Well, should we? Does anybody have?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Is my music still playing?
No, it hasn't been for about the past 30
That
minutes.
is.
Oh, yeah, I can hear it now. So today's Elders Meditation of the Day, July 23rd. The quote comes from Leon Shenandoah, Onondaga.
Onondaga.
The greatest strength is in gentleness.
Hmm.
Our elders have taught us many lessons about becoming a warrior and how to think and act like one. We have been told about the power of gentleness. We have been told about the power of stillness. Physical power is about effort. Mental power is the opposite. It's about being effortless or less any effort. Gentleness is one of the greatest attributes of the warrior and one of the greatest mental powers. It takes a lot of love to be gentle. Gentleness is not an ego word. Gentleness is the weapon of the Great Spirit. My Creator, today I will be gentle with myself and with others. I will listen to the whisper of my heart and learn the power of being gentle.
Wow.
Ladies first. It is Women's Wednesday. So you ladies would like to.
Being gentle. Being gentle with the ones who are suffering still with their, drug abuse and stuff like that. Being compassionate and stuff. And empathetic instead of like judging and, being harsh because, oh, you're still getting high or,
Yeah.
I feel like
Passing judgment.
yeah, being gentle with them. That's
I like that.
yeah.
It's good.
gentleness is like, it's a hard thing to learn. I wouldn't even really say you learn it, but it just happens to you over time. Going through hard things in life, you
Yes.
receive that gentleness. And also, I feel like as you get older, I don't know. I don't want to dive too. I could go really deep into this, but I'm not going to, because we've already been on for how long?
50 minutes.
50 minutes. I don't know. It took
Don't
a
hold
lot
back.
for me
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Say what you guys say. Me and Barry don't even have to talk.
whatever. I know Barry has a lot to say about this.
He's just waiting.
Yeah, for real.
Hurry up. Hurry up.
Just snapping at me. No.
Off camera the whole time.
Trying to be gentle.
I
You lucky I'm being gentle right now.
gotta look back at it. No, I don't know. I was very like, just from a mother's perspective. What I learned was always hurry up. Come on, we've got to go here. We're going here. Hurry up and get ready for bed. Hurry up and just hurry up and go. And to be gentle to me today means that I get to slow down and not get stressed out about what is to come next, and I get to put my phone down and focus in on my child, no matter what that looks like, even if we're just doing random stuff like at the grocery store, you know what I mean? And I don't know, gentleness means so many things to me. I do definitely still need to work on responding to outside issues with gentleness. I felt like I had that down, and then things in life, change, go up and down, and then that gets hard. And then I have to reevaluate myself and go back to that gentleness and making a conscious decision to react that way. Because if not, then whatever it is that's bothering me in my life, I'm just giving that power to affect me if I'm not reacting in a gentle way. I want to be known as a compassionate person. I want to be known for the love that I showed, and the gentleness and the stillness that I displayed in my life. I don't want to be known for being always in a hurry and just always aggressive and irritated and agitated. So that's what I have.
I like that.
It's good.
Thank you.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah.
All right. I think in the environments that we've grown up in the lives that we had in the past, like we've always looked at gentleness as a way for people to be trying to get one up on us. Like it was a way for them to try to, manipulate their way into our lives or something like that. Because no, you could never think that you were worthy of receiving anything like that. And that's why we were destroying ourselves in the way that we were. And I think that one of the first steps, we have to teach ourselves is how to be gentle with ourselves. And if you're not capable of doing that, how are you ever going to be able to do it for anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, people talk about love in that same way. It's like, how are you ever going to love anybody if you can't even love yourself? But you have to be the same way in being gentle with yourself. It's like you have to understand that, like, of course you're going to go through hard times and you're going to go through grief and trauma and things like that. But you have to, like, I have to make myself think now, because I used to be one of those parents that was constantly, hurry up, we need to get this done. Hurry up, you need to get this done. Now I take my time and I understand, like, I have to make them aware of the reasoning of why we're doing things, and it helps them to understand better and to respect why dad's asking them to do something, and not just getting on to them in the morning, or just helping them to understand the entire situation and not just that particular moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
And but being gentle has helped me to become a better father and a better friend, a better brother. And but I had to take a step back and realize that I have to be able to be gentle with myself in order to do that. And that's, that's kind of key for everybody whenever we start talking about how you're starting to learn about yourself in those first couple of steps in this process. And it's not until you really realize that you're actually worthy of getting that gentleness again. And like that first part is like we're breaking that trauma that maybe our parents were putting on to us and we never ever received gentleness.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they thought they were being gentle, but it wasn't really what it was. And so that's just, you always think that you're unworthy until you start really finding out who you are and that you're capable of providing that at the same time as receiving it. And so that's what I got. Senior.
Mado.
I like that.
When I think about gentleness, and what it said at the end was that's the creator's weapon. And you don't really hear those two words in the same sentence. The creator's weapon. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, that's what I held on to, after all that reading. But I think about what it is to be gentle. For me to know what gentleness is, I had to go through a rough patch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I had to experience what being rough, being like being rigid, and being having all these trials and tribulations. Where everybody acted hardcore all the time. Like no emotion. Like it was taken as weakness.
Mm-hmm.
To be nice. It was taken as weakness to show compassion. It was considered, weak, if you felt sorry, or like there's all these different like scenarios that I can think of where a person might have just needed a hug. You know what I mean? But like that's the last thing on anybody's mind, when those things are happening. Everybody's just trying to survive. So, when I think about when did gentleness get introduced to my life to where it means what it means to me today. Before the word just meant you're being weak.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like when you want to show something gentleness, like you got to be all them things. You got to know. You got to show some love to it. You want to be delicate. You want to you got to have compassion. Like you got to have like all these emotions that you used to consider weak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I understood, like when I first wanted to get sober, sitting in detox, and you know you heard it over and over, like, man, show yourself some grace. Like you could have been a whole lifetime of bad decisions. Like a whole lifetime. That was me. I was a whole lifetime of bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But like I understand now, like where my motives were coming from. Like what was important to me. And it kind of seemed like for me to be gentle to myself, I had to start forgiving myself. I had to really start looking at understanding why I had to be the way that I was and who I really wanted to be.
Right.
And it was like when I think about what gentle means to me today, I think about like my grandbabies. I think about Alani, I think about Nova, and what it, their innocence. I think about how they're, they don't even really understand what's going on right now, but they're just so happy about, about the simplest things, and I just feel so blessed by just being able to like experience these emotions that I held back for all these years. I get to show them what gentleness is. And it like I said, if you're a hardened criminal and you've only had one way of thinking, and that's what's carried you through. That's why you're here today. Because if you were regular, you probably wouldn't even be alive today. And it's like somewhere, somehow, like when you start to, I guess, maybe even when it's by yourself, like you softened up, like you may be an onion and you maybe have to be peeled back layer by layer. But I think the majority of people get to experience compassion, get to experience love, get to experience self-love, self-care. You get to experience like all these things where you can let your guard down and you don't have to be on point. Like you get to be who you really want to be.
Yeah.
And
you never ever let
Yeah.
yourself be vulnerable with yourself.
you understand how you feel empowered after these things. And I feel like that's only because God is using his weapon, his gentleness, to slowly show you that it's not a bad place to be.
Yeah.
And like I can't even like I think about like my life today, and there ain't nobody in my life that I like I don't argue with anybody. Like I don't even really like feel any type of way about anybody. Like I've learned that being gentle to myself, like I get to give that away. We get them phone calls all the time. About somebody who wants to make a change in their life, and you got to have that compassion. You got to have that gentleness. You sometimes it's a delicate situation.
Yeah.
And all it takes is the wrong answer to send them back off to where they're trying to get out of.
Right.
So it's like you have to understand on from a human standpoint, not from the streets. Like we don't bring the streets over here at all. They have no business over here. That street mentality, that thugged out, like none of that belongs over here. And over here we get to express gentleness, compassion, love, like acceptance, tolerance, like all these things that at one time in my life, like I think if I felt any of those things, like I said, I feel like I've gotten out of some hairy situations. You know what I mean? From being who I had to be in that situation. But I remember always being by myself, when I got the opportunity, because you're living out of a backpack and you're always with the gang of other people.
Looking like a basketball team walking down the road.
It's like like I would have to say, like a good example is after losing my son and I sobered up for a little while and then I fell back into my addiction. And it was like I was too scared to tell anybody how I was feeling. So I would go in the bathroom every day for like 2 years and I would just cry. Just go in this bathroom, random ass bathroom. Random, like and go in there and just, like just get it. Yeah. You're trying to be quiet. Yeah. Start playing a Facebook video or you know what I mean?
Stop.
Somebody...
I don't know if I should laugh or cry.
You're bringing up tragic memories.
But that's how I had to roll. Like, honestly, that like, because I didn't want nobody else to know how I was feeling. So today, I'm grateful that I surround myself with people where I'm not afraid to be me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not afraid to you know, show some gentleness, you know, show, you know, some love, you know. And it's all because I have these feelings within me. This is what I show myself, you know. So it feels good, you know. I like today's reading,
Mhm.
you know, gentleness, you know, that's the creator's weapon, you know. So, you know, after saying all that, now it makes sense, you know, why those words can be used in the same sentence.
Mhm.
You know, gentleness is the creator's weapon. So like I
Well, it's all part about being, like, we're taught that we're supposed to be, you know, we're supposed to be trying our best to be how Creator is to us, how God is to us.
yeah.
And like, if gentleness is a weapon, then you start learning that how to actually go through an argument and never ever feel anything but that gentleness or anything like that. And it's just key, because then you start to become aware of who the people are around you,
Mhm.
and your circle gets smaller because you're more aware of, like, who's worthy of your gentleness. And um, it's just helpful, because I have family members that aren't worthy of my gentleness now.
Wow.
Do
Yeah.
do
Mhm.
do I still talk to them? Yeah.
Of course.
I was like, but they're they're not even in my circle.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy to think about, when the person I was before would go out of their way and make sure that they received as much of my gentleness as they could, at my own sacrifice most of the time. Sacrifice of my own, my own gentleness at the same time to myself.
Mhm.
And so I just think it's just powerful to think about that. So Pete is just knocking stuff around.
Do we have any comments?
Oh yeah.
Hey, calm down.
Leslie came back and said, "I've just been thinking about my dad a lot lately. I miss him a lot, and I love my dad."
Oh, I
And
miss him too.
Isaac said, "Just ugly crying."
I know.
He said, "You just have to let it out sometimes."
Yeah.
All by
you
myself.
do.
Jeez.
I know I'm not so gentle with this market.
No, we just talked about that.
yeah.
Quit using the mic as a weapon. No. It looks
Well,
good.
that's all I really got for today, you know. So I'm thankful. Yeah, so tomorrow we will be having our meet and greet with
Mhm.
our new employees. I think Theta's scared that I'm gonna get up there and be like, name all your exes.
Oh my god. Guys, I filed my taxes. I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
How much we get back?
She's like, this year.
0.
Oh.
No, like that was all part of it. Sounded like what I was saying was I didn't file my taxes at all.
She's
In-
like, no,
insert
I did.
disclaimer.
Like
again.
I'm a fugitive.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
You know,
But no, that's all part of recovery. Is putting back
That
your
was bugging you this whole
finances.
time.
It was. I had to say it. It was
It's all
bugging
part of
me.
recovery to do your
when I looked at
taxes.
it, she's like,
It, to get your financials back in line.
Making amends to the IRS.
So
well, that's all right. That's all right.
IRS, if you're hearing this, no, just kidding.
I
But
promise.
yeah.
I was gonna tag him.
We have our women's meeting tonight, 6:00
6:00.
at 1950 South Shepherd. We have some snacks, fruits and veggies to eat
Mm.
while we
We do?
share in our circle. We do.
You use tongs.
Yeah. You leave her alone.
But you know, yeah. So tomorrow night will be the meet and greet. Tonight we're actually having or not us, but the Office of Veteran Affairs is having a sweat for the veterans. I've seen a lot of great things. My dad was a veteran. Watched him struggle with substances. So him and his buddies. Randy Bellemule or Randy Sneed, Jody, Big Jody Stevens, my dad, like there was Harold Barsh, like all these men that I grew up around, I got to watch them change their lives, when they were introduced to like our ceremonial or, not introduced, but brought back.
Yeah.
You know, so I thought it was a powerful thing. You know, that became their thing. You know, so I'm just glad I get to experience that again. You know, so yeah, tonight at around 6:30 out there at Concho, we will be sweating. So
Should make Darian go.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He won't go.
I gotta go home, be with
Yeah.
my ninja kids.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I really got. I mean, y'all got anything else?
I think
Dita.
that's all I have too.
Yeah.
I'm good. Sorry, y'all.
She
I hope to see you guys tomorrow and
Yeah.
and
tonight.
tonight
Like, share,
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah.
Tell your mammy about us.
outro.
I hope.